Today on the podcast, we're going to look at whether it is possible to sell at social events. In other words, when people are gathered together because they want to mix, they want to socialize, they want to flex, they want to flanger, they want to jojo, they want to enjoy themselves, is it possible for you to show up in their midst and then start trying to drum up sales? Now, the reason why we're looking at this today is because there is a Niger tech founder who had a successful exit, who was giving a series of talks in 2025. And at one particular event where he was talking to some newbie founders and entrepreneurs, he tried to give them what will I say now, speed course on what to expect when it comes to selling and marketing and promoting your business idea, your startup ideas. And one of the things he spoke about was how you can sell at events, because you can jam somebody in the club, all of them are just the groove, enjoying yourselves, and then you meet another founder or another service provider who is interested in signing your product, signing your service. So what he would do is, he's out in the club, music is just, boom, boom, boom. Everybody's enjoying themselves, alcohol flowing. And then you get into those sorts of business conversations. And the next day he'll be in the office, and then he will tell the sales team that yesterday I was at the club, I was chatting with so and so. They are interested in possibly buying, possibly trying us out. So go give this guy a call. So that is the context. That is the background. Is it possible to sell at social events? And should we even bother trying to sell at social events? If this is your first time listening to the podcast, my name is Tabashima Ayede. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant, and I am your host. If you would love to connect with me, then send me a connection request on LinkedIn, or you can send me a text message, or send me a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Also, if you enjoy the trend of the conversation that we're having here so far, if you're feeling the vibes of this podcast, then subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, or any player of your choice. So let's go straight into the question. Now, is it possible to sell at social events? And was this guy correct when he said you can be chilling at the club and you can meet someone else and they might be interested in your product or service, and then the next day you just follow up, or you instruct your crew and tell them that, look, guys, follow up, somebody's interested? Now, the answer is yes, you can sell at social events, so long as you are not using a buy my stuff kind of, how will I put it now? So long as your hustle is not buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but you know those kind of people that every single time you guys are doing what's it called, a reunion, secondary school reunion, university reunion, you know that guy who's always going around, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. You know those guys now. If you did reunion in 2025, the guy showed up. The guy's like, crypto this, crypto this, crypto this, crypto this. And you do reunion in 2026, and you know that he's going to show up and be talking buy this, buy this, buy this. But you know that his hustle has changed. So yes, you can sell at social events, so long as you are not that guy or you're not that girl who's always buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my thing. This is the future. This is the this. This is the that. Buy now. Sign up. Be part of my network. Be part of this. Yes, you can sell at social events, so long as that is not the approach that you take. Because if that is your approach, buy my stuff, you're going to end up being a leech. You're going to end up being an irritant. People will know you. When they cite you in social gatherings, they're like, this guy don't come again. You're an irritant. The reason why you're going to be an irritant is because when people come at social gatherings, whether people are at the club or whether they're doing secondary school reunion or church reunion or what else, descendants of Egbe Omo or Duduwa or something like that, whatever it is, it's a social gathering. People are there for a good time. People are not there for a sales pitch. You're jamming somebody in the club, the person is there for a good time. Well, most people anyway. There's some people who go to club to network. I'd like to be one of those guys, because let me learn too how I can be networking with Hennessy and all that. So basically, social gathering, people are there for a good time. They're not there for your sales pitch. But the major problem with this buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff thing is eventually people figure you out. They know that that is your MO, your modus operandi, as we say in this part of the world, the way that you function. People will know you. They'll know your steez. They know your pattern. And because of that, you will stop getting invitations. So if you think of yourself as a very, how will I put it? Like a very, like you're a go-getter, you know, and you talk passionately about your products, your ideas, your whatever it is. But you noticed that over time, it's like people keep forgetting to invite you for all these events. It is by design. They are not forgetting to invite you. They know that you too they do. You're a leech. You're an irritant. You're getting on people's nerves. So therefore, at the next one they will say, you know that guy, Kunle? No, don't invite him. Say why? What's wrong? And just leave Kunle. Forget him. Forget him. Or how far we Kemi? No, Kemi. No, just leave her. Leave her. Don't worry. No need to call her. No need to call her. These are some of the reasons why. So, if you're going to sell at social events, this is what you do. You walk up to someone and you say hi. First of all, okay. Well, when I say hi, I don't mean you must say hi. Like it depends now. Like who are you? It depends on the context. There's some places where if you go and say hi, you'll be like, this guy is rather formal. This guy is rather English. So, it depends. There are some places where you roll up and the proper greeting could be something like, oh, Ogbeni, how far? Or my nigga waiting there. So it depends. Because I remember when I was new in St. Gregory's College in Obalende. Yeah, Obalende, Southwest Ikoyi. Man, coming from Abuja, that thing was weird. Because in Abuja, we were normal guys, we were gentlemen. You see your classmates and you say, oh boy, how far now? What's up? How you been? And we used to greet like normal people. But then I entered my classroom in St. Gregory's College. Next thing I heard, bastard! I turned around. There was this guy, Elemoro. Now me and Elemoro would end up becoming quite good friends. It turns out that his father, I think his father was a member of the NURTW, that's the National Union of Road Transport Workers. And I think Elemoro later on will become a big player in that space. Because when I started in wedding photography and I went to, what's this place called? On the island to buy my camera equipment. I can't remember what the place is called. I ran into him anyway. And it looked like he was controlling a number of buses and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, like, wow, interesting. But anyway, so I heard, bastard! And then I turned around. I saw Elemoro. He had just entered the classroom, looking like the thug that, he is or he was. And then he walked over to his friend of his and said, bastard, baolaye. And the way they were greeting themselves, very violent kind of, And even me, I know that bastard is an insult. And I'm wondering, how can you be greeting your friend like that? Bastard. Anyway, I just realized that after a while that's just how Obalende boys are. There's even some stronger language that I cannot say on this podcast. Let's just say MFR, if you understand how do I put it, the shortened form. Some people just roll up and say, bastard, MFR, how you dey? Yala, yeah. I'm like, why are they just abusing their mother up and down? Anyway, so the whole point of me going into all this is basically I'm saying that whichever way you guys are used to greeting in your social circles, that is the appropriate greeting. So there are some circles where somebody can enter the place and shout, bastard! And it's an appropriate greeting. Although for me, to be honest, I think it's weird. You Yoruba boys, you guys need to cut back on some of that. Anyway, it's your culture. So, so you roll up on the person. So whether you say bastard, or you say what's up, or you say how you doing, or whatever it is, but you roll up on the person. Appropriate greeting. After that, some small talk. You're trying to find some common connection to the host, some common connection to the event, some common connection between your prior history together, some kind of connection. That's all you're aiming for in the beginning. So it's a matter of Hey, what's up? How you doing now? Uh, oh, so you know Kunle. Let's assume that Kunle is the person who invited everybody for this hangout. So, hey, what's up? How you doing? So how do you know Kunle? Simple. The person will start talking about how he knows Kunle. If you met Kunle in primary school, you met Kunle in university. Good. Some form of commonality. You guys be gisting a bit, and then of course you get to explore some stuff. You know, primary school, university, blah blah blah. Small talk. But remember, you roll up on someone. You say what's up. You say hi. You say bros wedding day. You say whatever it is people say, and then you ask a couple of questions because you're trying to find a common connection with the host. The host is the person who invited you for this event. With the event itself, because obviously, if it's a meeting of St. Gregory's College, Obalende Old Boys, and I roll up on someone, I'd want to know what set did this guy go to, because from there, that's how the conversation will flow. So if you are a 1973 set and you're talking to somebody who is, I don't know, a 2001 set, well, okay, well, the gap is large, but you guys will have some very, very interesting conversations about how St. Gregory's College has changed since 1973 and since 2001. See, these are skills that you can use to just open conversations. Remember, you roll up on someone, you say what's up, you give the appropriate greeting, and then you ask some simple questions because you're trying to find a connection, some common history with the host, the person who invited you, with the event itself, or with the prior history that you guys have. So that's how you do it. So if the NBA, that is the Nigerian Bar Association, because remember, I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant. So if the NBA is doing something in Abuja or in Makudi, I can attend as I'm somebody who finished law school, who practiced for a while, and I'm enrolled in the bar, so I can call myself a lawyer, even though I don't practice. So it's not out of place for me to say, "Oh, what's up? How you doing?" And then we start talking like, "Oh, which chapter are you from? I haven't seen your face before." And the person says, "Oh, I'm from a Nugu chapter." I say, no worries. No wonder now, because me and I'm an Abuja, a member of Abuja chapter. If you're an Abuja person, if I don't recognize your face, and then from there, that's how you guys start talking. Then, eventually, you guys are going to start talking personal, or you guys are going to start talking business. But when you do this, you're going to start exploring these topics from their own personal perspective. So when you do that whole thing of, oh, what set were you, St. Gregory's, or what set were you, Christ the King College, or what set were you, King's College, or which chapter are you, MBA? Are you Enugu chapter? Are you Onitsha chapter? Are you Abuja chapter? Are you Kano chapter? Eventually, people are going to start talking about some things, either personal or business, but you will ask from their own perspective. This is not time for you to show how smart you are, how good you are, how knowledgeable you are, how abreast of things you are. No, no, no. You're trying to find out things about this other person. Because eventually they're going to talk about something in their personal life or in their business talk where you will now be able to slip in and say, oh, you have this kind of problem. I have this product, I have this service that solves this kind of thing. Or I know someone who has this product or who has this service and it solves that kind of thing. Then your call to action now be, after this event, Alpha, can I buzz you? So that thing we discussed, maybe I'll bring it to you at the office. You see, maybe it's something you're interested in, something that might help, something like that. That is how you sell at social events. If you run around saying, buy my stuff, you're an irritant, nobody's going to invite you. But then if you make things easy and organic, hey, what's up? How you doing? Your face is fresh. I haven't seen you before. This is your first time joining an MBA. Okay, you just graduated last year. Okay, no worries. I understand now. Me, I got called to the bar 15 years ago. Where'd you say you're from again? I did not see your face when I was in BSU. Oh, okay, you finished at St. Mary's College in Oxford, in London. Oh, okay. And then from there, just a gist. You know? Eventually, you enter Kemi Badenoch. That's the lady who I think she was running for head of Labour Party. I know that whole controversy with her saying stuff about Nigerians. So eventually now, you enter Kemi Badenoch and you be talking. But remember, it is from their own perspective, you asking them questions, not you showing how sharp you are at current affairs. Now, eventually, they might start talking about stuff around immigration policy and blah blah blah. Maybe they know somebody who is trying to jackpot, but the person on hook. If what you do now is immigration law, that is the point where you say, "Oh, yeah, Bele. So this your uncle now. What's the way forward? What's going to happen?" You know what? I actually do immigration law, and I have partners who are currently in, Wolverhampton, currently in blah blah blah, wherever, as we speak. And this is the kind of thing that we specialize in. So you see, that is the organic shift. But if you show up talking to everybody, hello, this is me. My name is Tavishima. I graduated first class, and my specialty is immigration law. Here's my card. If you need an immigration lawyer, call me. If that's what you're doing all evening, you're going to end up being an irritant. So, this is a much more organic way for how you get to, how do I put it, slip your agenda into the whole thing. So, remember, you show up, appropriate greeting. After appropriate greeting, explore some commonalities, explore some connection with the host. How do you know so, 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 and so, the person who invited you guys? Or with the event, if it is federal government, old boys, federal government college Ogbomoso, then you're exploring, the event itself and the history. So, oh, okay, FGC, which set? Me, I'm 1976. Which one are you? Oh, 1999 said, hey, yeah, you're a small boy. By the time people graduated, I was already working in central bank. And then from there, conversation will just flow like that. But as you guys talk about personal and business talk, remember to take things from their own personal perspective. Eventually, the chance will come for you to choke your own agenda. And then the call to action, or what you're trying to do is, after this event, you're trying to call them up, go to their house, go to their office, have another meeting where you guys can talk in some more detail about how you can help. So for those of you who are trying to sell at social events, you're a tech founder, you're a whatever, you're an architect, you're a consultant, the playbook is all the same. So the reason why I'm making today's podcast is what that guy said is absolutely correct. You can sell at social events. He just didn't say how. In fact, he spoke about meeting somebody yesterday at the club, but he didn't tell you when you go into the club, how do you put your business agenda on the table? And this is how. And by the way, you have to be satisfied that it's not every single time that you're going to be able to get your agenda on the table. It's not every time. So sometimes you go out, you want to network, you want to do your business thing. It's not going to work all the time. In fact, when I sold insurance, there was one guy who specialized in, I can't remember the name of the insurance product, but it's one of these insurance products that have come up because, the cost of burial in Nigeria is high, astronomically high. In fact, when you hear that, your uncle has died or Popsy don't die or something, the first thing that will grab you, the first, BP, the first hypertension that will get you be, hey, how are we going to pay for this whole burial thing? So there are a couple of insurance products that have been designed by some Nigerian insurance companies that deal with this sort of thing. So there's a beneficiary. So forgive me. Let me not speak about it in technical terms so I don't misinform you. But basically, you'll be dropping some small money, and then unfortunately, death comes for us, or God forbid. But unfortunately, the time comes, uncle passes. You guys took out the policy, so they pay so that the money can now be used to defray, to cover the funeral costs. Now, there was one guy in the office where I used to work who that was his specialty. And the reason why it was his specialty was because the thing happened to him. I think it was Popsy that died first, and they were not prepared. And so Popsy's burial cleaned them out. Like, it was terrible. So, him now, working in insurance, is like, this product is here. Why shouldn't I take advantage of it? So, they took the product. And then, unfortunately, later on, Momsy passed. But then when Momsy passed, the difference was clear. They were not bankrupted because Momsy passed. There was good money that was able to cover enough of stuff. So he was able to talk about this thing from his own personal experience. And in fact, that was his own strategy. He used to like to go out drinking every single Friday, with guys, and it was part of his thing. From drinking, eventually, they would start talking about these sorts of things, and his personal story would always come in about Momsy, Popsy, and how this thing was so useful. And of course, now, Niger now, none of us want to be irresponsible. We want to make sure that we bury our parents well. So if you hear that kind of thing, like, okay, I would like to know some more about that kind of thing. And that was that guy's shtick. That's how he used to sell that particular product very well. But he knew that he wouldn't always get the opportunities to have that conversation. So it's possible that he will go drinking for 1 month and not talk about the product one single time. It's just one of those things. But eventually, the time shows up where you have the opportunity to put your own agenda on the table. But the next time you're at an event and you hear someone talking about how they are closing deals at the club, and you're wondering, how are people closing deals at the club? This is one possible way. How? All right, it's been 20 minutes, so let me bring today's podcast to a close. Remember, if you would love to connect with me, call, send me a text message or WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Also, remember, we are getting ready for a series of trainings from the 12th of January to the 23rd of January 2026. If you are interested and you would love to learn how to sell effectively using the phone, so let's say now, for instance, this whole club thing, you want to meet somebody at the club. So you have an acquaintance. How do you build the relationship over the phone? How do you nurture the relationship over the phone? How do you agree that the hookup is going to happen in the club? How do you agree to do that on the phone? When you're in the club and you guys have a nice meeting and it looks as if you guys are making progress and you might want to meet again after the club is over, how do you reignite? How do you continue the conversation? How do you continue to pursue the agenda over the phone? These are the sorts of things that we're going to be talking about in the course coming on the 12th of January to the 23rd of January 2026. It's a paid course and it's going to be worth your while. It is not going to be a pre-recorded thing, so there's no videos. It's me, I'm there, I'm live with you guys. Any questions that you have, I'm there to answer. And in fact, the whole point of me being there live is I want to be sure that we come up with protocols, we come up with frameworks, we come up with next steps that will be particular and unique to your own situation. That's the reason why I'm there. So, if you'd like to learn some more about the training, hit me up, call me, send me a text message, send me a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. If you're not interested in the training, still reach out anyway, because I like meeting people who listen to the podcast. So thank you very much for your time and attention. Again, thank you to those of you who've been supporting the podcast since day one and the people who found the podcast newly in 2025. It's been an honor that you have let me be a part of your business development growth and your personal development, personal growth. Anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. It's an honor that I've been a part of this journey, either professionally or personally, over 2025, and I'm looking to remaining as a significant part of your life for 2026. So subscribe to the podcast, reach out, let me know questions, comments, queries, things you like, things you don't like, topics you'd like us to explore. Reach out, and then if you're interested in the training, I'm available. Hit me up, let me know. Also, apologies for the noise in the background. For those of you who've been listening for the last week, you know that I'm in the villa, so I'm still in the villa. So all that noise in the background is the kids, the cousins, the uncles, the aunties. It's hard to find a quiet place to record, when you travel home for these sorts of things. Anyway, we thank God for 2025 and looking forward to a smooth 2026 as we cross over in a couple of days. So, that's it. I'll be in touch some other time.